In this day and age, many of us take air travel for granted. Naturally, we should have massive metal contraptions capable of transporting us safely through the sky, but there is a lot that goes into getting you from point A to point B, and some of these are secrets that airlines would rather you don't know. Here's a hint. They want you to get checked in as quickly as you do. Catch up on the Hub during your next flight by clicking the subscribe button and turning on your notifications. Golden hour. Just like any other business, airlines exist to make money. The second you get through security, the clock starts ticking. They call the hour after you're clear golden hour, and that's when you feel the most self-indulgent. All of those display boards with flight listings are really meant to assure you that you have plenty of time to grab a few drinks and snacks before heading to your gate. In general, people spend about $7 an hour at airports, so the faster they can get you through checkout and through security, the better. Shops. Now that you have some time to wander the shops, have you noticed how so many of them feature twists and turns? Duty-free shops with this design see 60% more sales than those with a standard layout. Carpeted floors, spas, and comfy chairs all help us to feel more relaxed when we are waiting for our flights, and happy customers tend to spend more money. Customers who aren't stressed out spend about 70% more on retail and 10% more on duty-free items compared to frazzled customers. Oxygen masks. It might make you feel comforted to know that oxygen masks are available on your flight, but it's less reassuring that they only have about 15 minutes of oxygen in them. This should hopefully give your pilot enough time to get the plane to an elevation where you can breathe on your own. We know you want to ration your oxygen, but it's important that you put your mask on quickly. You only have a few moments before your brain gets affected by the lack of oxygen. Flight attendants. Everyone hates flight delays, and your flight attendant is no exception. Until everyone is seated and the plane door is closed, those smiling flight attendants aren't getting paid. Helping you stow your bag or find your seat is something that they technically aren't getting paid to do. Not only does a delayed flight mess up their own travel plans, but it puts a dent in their earnings as well. Danger. You might feel the most uneasy when you're high up in the sky, but the most dangerous times to be on a plane are during takeoff and landing. The plane lights are dimmed to prepare your eyes for darkness, in case there is an issue and you have to find your way out with no power. You want to have your tray tables and bags tucked away, just in case you need to evacuate quickly, so you don't trip over them in your haste to get off the plane. Profit. With rising ticket prices, you might think that airlines are raking in massive amounts of profit, but that's not the case. On average, airlines make about $8.27 in profit if you walk through the airport and board a plane, giving them an average profit margin of about 4%. Of course, that number is just an average. Airlines in North America earn about double that figure, where airlines based out of other areas aren't nearly that profitable. When you adjust for inflation and consider the cost of fuel, maintenance, and staff, ticket prices are actually lower now than they have been historically. Rebooking. If your flight gets canceled or delayed, there is a way for you to avoid the long lines at the ticket counter. Just use your cell phone to call the airline's customer service number. Phone agents have the same ability to rebook you that the desk does, and seconds matter when it comes to getting onto a new flight. And don't bother telling the agent the whole story about what happened. They just need to know your identifying and flight information, and they'll take care of the rest. Runway numbers. Airports are chock full of signs, but it turns out that the runway is also conveying a lot of information. Maybe you've noticed a pair of numbers on the runway and wondered what they mean. Those numbers are based on the magnetic azimuth, or compass bearing. Each runway number is a rounded compass bearing to the nearest 10th degree. The number at the other end of the runway is different by 180 degrees, so it's 18 higher or lower. Water. We've told you before that the water on flights is so gross, even the flight attendants won't touch it. But if you're not allowed to bring water through security, and you can't drink plain water, that leaves you with having to spend big bucks for hydration at the airport. The solution to this is surprisingly simple. Just bring an empty water bottle. Once you're through security, you can fill it up at one of the many water fountains in the airport and carry it right on the plane with you. Flight search. We know that flying is expensive and you want to get the best deal possible on your tickets. You've probably heard that you want to clear your browser's cookies, or insidious airports will realize that you're trying to travel and jack up the prices. Although some people do claim this, there really isn't any hard evidence. Flight prices change day to day, sure, but booking 54 days before your domestic flight is the really best way to make sure you get a good rate. Is there anything about airports that you've been curious about? Let us know your question in the comment section and we might include it in a future video. To see if your questions pop up, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Hub for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.